Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about The Walking Dead Season 9 and the Highwaymen, and specifically this exchange between Tara and this guy whose name is apparently Ozzy, this Highwayman who's the leader. And then we're also going to talk about the Highwaymen as a whole, because they're definitely an interesting group, and I want to talk about, what their purpose is. So we're going to break all that down in today's video. But before I do begin, if you aren't caught up with The Walking Dead, spoiler warning, and if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, hit that subscribe button for daily content. But let's get started. So the Highwaymen we met in episode 13, and they're definitely an interesting group. It turned out to be, what I didn't expect them to be. They turned to the good side pretty quickly, but we don't know just yet. Never trust anybody. But they accepted Carol's deal apparently to watch a movie, and they came to help the Hilltop, who was stuck in the middle of the road because that big ass tree was in their way. So this guy, like I said, his name is Ozzy. When he came to help the Hilltop, him and Tara, they gave each other a very interesting look, and the moment it happened, I thought something was up between these two, which I still think it could be. So we got one of three situations going on here. A, that these two know each other from a past group, which is what I think is going on. B, they fell in love because they looked in each other's eyes, and Tara's like, my knight in shining armor just saved me, I couldn't walk over a tree. No, but Tara is gay though, so that's why I don't think that's the case. But I don't know if they ever established Tara being bi. I remember Tara said to somebody like she likes girls, but that's why I'm not excluding it just yet, just because of this look. Like, I feel like there has to be some sort of connection. And then the third option is that, Tara just like super shocked that this random cowboy came and saved her life. Not really saved her life, but they were just stuck. You get what I'm saying. But you guys let me know in the comments down below. What do you think it is? Do you think it's A, B, or C? I think, like, if I'm gonna be 100% serious, I think, Tara is just like really shocked that this random guy in this random group came and saved her. But I do think A is possible. I think there is a possibility that they know each other from a different group, because Tara has been around for a long time, and I think it'll be pretty cool if, they somehow have a connection. But again, let me know in the comments down below what do you think it is. But I'm going to discuss A and, why I think it's possible for them to know each other from a different group. Tara has been on the show for a very long time, like early season 4. There's not that many characters who have been around longer than Tara. Like, who is there? Like, there's Daryl, Carol, Michonne, Judith, technically. Like, who else? I can't even think of anybody else. I think that might be it. So Tara has been on the show for a very long time, and I'm gonna be honest, she's kind of like a bland character. They haven't made her that interesting. I like the actress, when she's on screen, she does a pretty good job, but there's just not that many interesting storylines for her. Like, I know she's connected with Heath. I wish they played more around with that, but other than that, there isn't much there for Tara. And I think that's why I'm kind of hoping they somehow know each other, just so it can be a little interesting for Tara, because she's been around for a long time, but there hasn't been much for her on the show. So we met Tara back in season 4 with that family that the governor ran into, and that's kind of like really the only backstory we have on her. We had her sister, her nephew, and then her sister's father, and then the governor met them. But this is a popular theory I have heard some people say. I don't know who made this up. I'm not taking credit for it. I just heard a lot of people say it. This is just a discussion video. Obviously, we don't have the answers, but I have heard people say this could possibly be her sister's husband. And I don't know if they ever said what happened, because he just wasn't there. If they said he died, let me know, because I don't know if they did. But I think it would be really awesome if this somehow would be, her brother-in-law, and it would just make it so much more interesting. And I really like, I know stuff like that aren't necessary on The Walking Dead, like it doesn't add that much to the story, but I just like little stuff like that. I don't know, it's just me. But if these two characters somehow have a connection like that, that would be pretty cool. Because right now, I don't really understand the purpose of these Highwaymen. Even if these two have a connection, still I'm a little bit stuck on the purpose, because I feel like right now their whole point is for them to, be there to maybe fight alongside with the Whisperers, or just be, victims for the Whisperers, like more people for the Whisperers to kill. And we're going to discuss more about the Highwaymen as a whole in a little bit, because Angela King had an interview that I want to discuss some questions about. But hopefully they add this little thing, and I kind of hope they do, because it would make it more interesting for both characters. And then also, I just feel like this looks as way too much. But I'm done blabbing about that. You guys let me know in the comments down below. What do you think is going on here? Do you think they have some sort of connection or not? But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about this interview about the Highwaymen from Angela Kang. So the interview was with Entertainment Weekly, and I'll leave the whole article in the description down below if you want to go check it out. But I want to read this one part that's very interesting. So Angela Kang said, What we were really looking to do was introduce a group that has sort of a unusual MO and had a really unique perspective on life in a unique way that our people have to deal with them. It was a lot of fun, but we were really lucky to get the wonderful actor Angus Sampson to play the role of the lead highwayman, so that was a lot of fun for us to work on. So yeah, Angus Sampson was actually pretty good in the role. I liked him. It was funny because when I think when she's saying unique way to how our people deal with them, I'm pretty sure she's referring to, you know, Carol bribing them with a movie, which was pretty funny, to be honest. I laughed when she said that. I didn't expect that. I thought she was gonna be like, when was the last time you guys like took a shower or something, and then she said watch a movie, which is kind of funny. But anyways, what I'm a little bit stumped on is a really unique perspective on life. Like, I mean, I don't really get that part, because yeah, they have a border, you know, a territory, but so do the Whisperers. Like, the Whisperers don't want you to be in their territory, and I just really hope there's more to unravel with these highwaymen rather than just them being like whisper bait. I mean, I don't want to like jump the gun or anything, because we kind of did the same thing with, you know, Jadis and the Scavengers. I mean, okay, the Scavengers essentially were a little bit pointless, but Jadis wasn't. I remember when the Scavengers came in season 7, like everybody's like, who the hell is this new group? Like, what is their purpose? And then they turned on Rick and were like, oh shit, and then it turned out, you know, one of the most annoying people in the zombie apocalypse turned out to freaking save Rick Grimes' life, and I will forever love you, Jadis, for that. Even though I was annoyed with you pretty much the majority of your time on The Walking Dead, I appreciate the fact that you saved Rick Grimes. So what I'm basically trying to say is that, you know, maybe this group will have a purpose rather than just being whisper bait, and I really hope they do. At least this main guy, you know, I'm sure they want to hang on to him. We're gonna have to wait and see though. But moving on, let's talk about the next question. Alright, this next question is pretty interesting because I'm also interested to know the answer. So they asked Angela, they did attack Jerry and they did threaten to take Ezekiel hostage. So where do they fall on the morally ambiguous scale? So Angela said, we thought of them as if a mob moved into this territory that was created by a power vacuum after Carol took out Jed in that group, which she so famously set them all on fire earlier in the season. We thought how interesting if the action that she took there, which kind of stamped out one problem from her mind, actually created a side problem. And yet, we like the fact that this group is sort of morally ambiguous. Really, are they bad guys, or did they just have their own thing that they're trying to do, just as our people do? Certainly, our people have done some things that are in the gray area themselves. We want to tell the story of how the groups coexist with each other or not, because there's certainly a very specific story with the Whisperers that's happening. Then here's a different kind of group, and how do you negotiate what are your borders and where do you go? I guess the long-winded answer to your question is, I don't really see the highwaymen as being good or evil. They're just people who exist in this world, and they're trying to grapple with having neighbors just like our people are. So yeah, based on what she's saying here, this is why this group is kind of reminding me of the Scavengers, because the Scavengers also were just people who existed in the world, and they weren't necessarily a good or evil. Like, yeah, they turned on Rick because Negan offered them more. So they're just people who are just basically living, and whoever offers them more or whatever, you know, that's who they lean towards. So I mean, it would be interesting to see if they team up with the Whisperers, but I don't think so, because the Whisperers are creepy as fuck, and I don't think they want to do anything with the Whisperers. But I'm just really hoping they don't just die at the end of the season, because that would be a very pointless type of group. But if they somehow do die in the end of the season, I also think that's gonna have some major consequences. So it's not gonna be like 100%, you know, pointless, because obviously that's gonna also have a huge effect on Carol too, because Carol is the one who essentially invited them to the fair, right? Because she made the deal with the movie and they accepted. So basically, if you're at the fair, you're in danger, and it looks like these guys are gonna be at the fair, right? So without a doubt, at least some of them are gonna die, if not all. So I'm sure it's also gonna have another huge effect on Carol, and that's what this whole season has really been about, you know, building up relationships, and just because we know that big thing is coming at the end. And, you know, you really can't have a death in The Walking Dead without it having a huge effect on other characters, because there's no point to that, you know. Characters need to die in order for other characters to grow or be affected or, you know, step up. And I think, you know, Carol's obviously, if Carol loses some loved ones, that's going to have a major effect. But also, I think she may feel a little bit guilt for inviting these guys over, because, you know, they possibly could also die during the fair. I mean, the lead guy, who's played by Angus Sampson, I like him so far. I thought he was pretty good. He is the only one who talks, so that's why he's the only one I really like so far. And, you know, that look he gave Tara that I was talking about earlier in the video, I really hope there is something connected between them, because it's not gonna like add anything crazy to the season or anything, but I think it'll be a little nice thing. And maybe it was just like kind of, blown out of proportion because of that look. Maybe she was just shocked. But you guys let me know in the comments down below. Do you think they're connected or do you think they're not connected? And then also leave all your thoughts and opinions about the Highwaymen and what do you think is going to happen to them this season. But I am going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating. And if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching and I'll see you guys later.